6 years ago, we were both making pretty good incomes, but we were still decades away from living our dream, retiring early, and traveling the world full time. There was just one major problem: our spending.
Our spending was bad. So we did a budget, which was a very humbling experience, and rapidly showed us the 5 places where we were hemorrhaging the most money, and it was not good. But undeterred, we made ourselves a spending test. That first year, we failed all 5 questions, but we were determined to get it right. And today, we pass all 5 questions. And I am only 1 year from being able to retire forever.
Woohoo!
And Elise is not far behind me.
These 5 questions make all the difference. So, are you ready? Let's see how you guys do. Question number 1: do you spend more than 25% of your post-tax income on housing every year? According to the stats, over 60% of Americans are not following this rule. And we're not going to lie, 6 years ago, we definitely were guilty of this as well. We were spending $4,500 a month on this bougie Santa Monica apartment with some sort of crazy roof deck that we thought was so cool. We used it twice. I mean, come on.
It was cool, but we used it twice.
It wasn't that
cool. Anyway, we were spending about 40% of our after-tax income on that stupid apartment. We downgraded to a very nice, comfortable, rent-controlled apartment in a nice area of Santa Monica, which we now spend less than 25% of our income on our apartment. So that is a massive savings. It's around $20,000 a year when you add it all up each year that we can now invest instead of just seeing it flow out the door every month.
What's funny is that even though this apartment is way cheaper, has way less bells and whistles, I am so much happier here.
Yeah, it's actually in a better area too.
Yeah, I will take the roof stains and all.
Question number 2. Is your car the right functional tool for you, or is it a part of your image?
Recent consumer data shows that the average American household spends between 16 and 32% of their annual incomes on their cars. That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
But what's crazier is if you look at the most affluent neighborhoods in Northern California, where they're making over $670,000 per year on average, the most popular car is a Toyota Prius, which only costs $30,000. Compare that to a luxury car that costs $100,000. What's going on here? To me, I look at that and I say, okay, it's got to be that rich people just don't really feel like they've got much to prove to the world. They're already rich. So what are we, the middle income earners, doing driving around these luxury cars that cost $100K to buy?
And it's not just the purchase price. When we were driving luxury cars, what really killed me was all the maintenance costs. That was insane. When we would pop a tire, which happens way too often in LA for some reason, it would be like $400 per tire. One time we were doing a road trip through Colorado and we shredded one tire, and as soon as they saw that luxury car at the tire dealership, they knew they had us. Like, oh, I'm sorry. We've only got 2 of these. We're going to have to order the other one special. The grand total will be $1,500.
Oh my God.
What were we going to do? They were the only people who even could get these tires in that town. We were completely screwed. And that kind of thing happened pretty often. When you add up all the ancillary costs of owning a luxury car, including licensing, insurance, all those things, it's at least double the purchase price.
These days, we drive around an awesome little Kia Forte that we paid nothing to get because we were just able to trade across our old luxury cars to get it.
That's right. So not only did it cost us nothing out of pocket, but our insurance bills plummeted. Our gas costs were cut literally in half. And everything else is cheaper too.
The day I realized that I was truly in love with our Kia Forte was last year, right before our wedding. I was insane. I was so stressed out, and I turned a corner, hit the curb with the car, and managed to slash not one, but two of the brand new tires on our Kia. I was freaking out. I had PTSD from what had happened with our old car. I went to the car tire guy and I got the bill, and it was less than $200 for both tires. It was like a miracle.
So, did our image take a hit? Yes. Yes, our image took something of a hit. It's not that cool to roll up somewhere in a Kia Forte.
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles. But the way I see my image now is going to be Mr. Early Retired traveling around the world with my beautiful wife. We're not even going to have a car at that point. So saving these tens of thousands of dollars every single year is so worth it when you have that larger goal in mind.
Question number 3. Do you eat out or order in more than once a week? The average restaurant charges a markup of 300% per meal.
It's harsh.
That's 3 times higher for your meal before even accounting for something like tip. That's crazy.
Crazy.
And the funny thing is, it's often not even that much better than what you would get at home. Just the other day, I was out at a lunch for work and I decided to order the $46 salmon. But I was like, whatever, it's on the company dime. Let's go for it. You guys, I kid you not, I got the salmon and it was like the size of my chin. And it had one little dollop of mustard on it. And I don't even know how anybody could walk out of that restaurant full for $50. It's insane. If I made that at home, for all 3 of us, it would be about $30 for a full family salmon dinner meal.
Yeah, you're right. My thing with fish is kind of similar to that. I used to always go and get Whole Foods sushi for lunch, which is about $17 or $18. And once I added up how much that actually was, getting that 3 or 4 times a week, it's insane. Now I just do a can of tuna fish, which I get on sale for $1, and make a spinach salad out of it, which is actually healthier than the sushi was. And I don't know, it's maybe 1/8 of the price or something like that. So just that is actually saving us thousands of dollars a year, just in and of itself. And overall, following this rule of trying not to eat out or order in more than once a week, we're saving over $15,000 a year on food. Once again, $15,000 that just goes right into the stock market and into our early retirement fund. Question number 4. Do you sometimes splurge to make yourself feel better? Also known as the YOLO effect. I was pretty darn guilty of this one, I have to say. And Elise actually helped me understand why I was doing that and how to avoid it.
So the science literally shows that purchasing things increases endorphins. So it makes sense if we're having a bad day, we're just feeling kind of low. Buying something is a way to give ourselves a nice little pick-me-up. And in the world of credit cards, we don't even really have to face any sort of immediate negative consequences because it's all in this virtual world. We can just use our credit card and charge things away. The problem is that the science also shows that that feeling of elation from those endorphins goes away really fast. Not only that, it leaves you at a lower point than you were even before you made that purchase. So then that cycle just continues. It makes sense why YOLO spending can be even worse than a drug habit for your finances.
I'm a perfect example of this. I mean, I used to work even more than I do now. And so I had a little bit of workaholism going on, honestly. Like I would just take every client, take every job. Sometimes I'd work a 12-hour day. And at the end of that day, I'd just be like, this is awful. I need something to make myself feel better. And I'd get on Amazon and order some really expensive gear or something like that.
The boxes were insane.
Crazy. And once Elise explained this thing to me, I was just like, okay, I'm just going to go see if this is true. Like, do I have too much stuff? Oh my God. I started cleaning out the closet. I had really expensive clothes that I had worn once or never. And I'd had them for more than a year. It was ridiculous. And it was just this sort of spending I was doing because it was justifying working so hard. And it was just this up and down cycle. And immediately I realized, oh my God, all right, I need to A, maybe cut my hours a little bit, but B, stop with the YOLO spending. Just relax, go on a run, do something like that. And that's been a big help, I think. happens.
And last but not least, question number 5. Do you spend more than 2 hours per day watching uninspired TV or scrolling through social media? In other words, how much of your time is spent being unproductive?
This honestly might be the most costly spend of all. People spend hours and hours and hours watching TV and on social media. They took even half of that time and spent it doing something that earned, let's say, minimum wage. It would be thousands of dollars a year in their pocket.
It's so true. The WHO estimates that the average young person in America will spend over 6 years of their lives scrolling social media. That's scary, honestly.
That is scary. And who is the WHO? The band, or do you mean the WHO, the World Health Organization?
Okay, the WHO, thank you.
Because the WHO would be really interesting if they had a take.
I would love to know whose take.
The WHO's take would be, they do a Jukebox Hero. Like,
okay, Adam's tangent is over.
Go on.
Thank you. The numbers actually do show that the average American will spend over 2 hours per day on social media and over 3 hours per day watching mindless TV. If you even took half of that and used it to work just a minimum wage job, you're making over $15,000 a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's a massive difference.
Yeah.
And the truth is, this has absolutely happened in our own lives. I used to watch a ton of TV just because I'd be tired from work and, kid stuff and just need to lie down and just blah.
Veg out.
And Elise was scrolling so much.
I know. I was a victim of doom scrolling.
And we just said, you know what? Let's not just look at social media. Let's do something. Let's accomplish something. And that's why these channels, Live Hard, Love Hard, and Renegade Retirement exist, is because we want to do something productive with that time.
And creative.
And creative and fun. And this community is a great community. It's made us so happy. And it makes us a few $1,000s a year.
It's a fun little side hustle.
It really is. And it just takes away from that unproductive, useless time and makes it into something valuable.
Yeah. And look, we're not hating on that 1 hour per day of TV.
We still do that.
We do. We give ourselves an hour a day to just kind of bond, watch a fun show, chill out.
We just finished Succession. It's pretty entertaining.
That's great. Highly recommend. So those are our 5 critical spending test questions. We are so curious to know how you guys did on this test.
I really want to know too. I'm betting most of you got 2 or 3 of them, not all. But probably you're doing a lot better than we were 6 years ago.
I think so. A lot of you guys are like really far ahead in your retirement games.
You are, but you got to be honest with us though.
Yeah.
No, don't lie to yourselves. Don't lie to us. Let us know how you really did.
Help us help you.
And help us help us. We need inspiration.
Love you guys. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. And let us know if there's any questions we should add to this, by the way.
That's a good idea.
Yeah. See you soon.